boys and girls. I'm so glad you're joining me today for another math lesson. We're going to be doing story problems using the UPSC method. And do you remember what the UPSC method is? Understand for U, plan for P, solve for S, and check for C. That's what we're Today we're going to use addition and subtraction within 20 to solve word problems involving situations of adding to, taking from, putting together, taking apart, comparing with unknowns in all positions. We're going to use objects, drawings, and equations with a symbol for the unknown to represent the problem. Story problems. We have our UPSC sheet here. You have this on the back of your number of the day sheet in the plastic page protector. Right here is the acronym for all the things that we do. We call this cubes, and it just represents circling the numbers in units, underline your question, box your action word that helps us figure out if the problem is addition or subtraction. Eliminate any extra numbers that you may not need. Show your work and check. Okay, let's review our UPS method. You understand, read the story problem twice, visualize, find the key words and numbers, circle, underline, and box. Decide what kind of problem this is. Here's our story problem. Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write than Jesus? Oh, we have to read it 2 times.
Okay.
Let's read this together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write than Jesus? Well, we have to circle the number and units. Letters is our units. We have 8 letters and we have 12 letters. We need to underline the question. We need to box the action word. More letters. That's the key word. P for plan. How are you going to solve the problem? You can draw a picture. You can draw a diagram. You can draw a number line. You could use a number bond. What is drawing a picture? Well, let's read the story problem and see if we can figure out what we need to draw. Okay, Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write than Jesus? Well, Jesus wrote 8 letters. And we don't know how many more he wrote, but we do know that Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write? Well, let's put 8 in our head and count on till we get to 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. He wrote 4 more letters than Jesus. Plan. How are you going to solve the problem? You can draw a diagram. But what is a diagram? Well, a diagram generally is part, whole. So let's read the story problem to figure out how to figure that out. Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write than Jesus? Well, Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did he write? We could say 12 minus 8 and get the answer, or 8 plus blank equals 12 and count on like we did last time. And we have to figure that out. So let's go 12 minus 8 equals 4. Excellent job. Lan, can you draw a number line? Sure you can. How do I do it on a number line? Well, read the story problem again. Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write than Jesus? Well, we're going to start on 8 because that's how many letters Jesus wrote. And we have to get to 12. So let's hop till we get to 12 and count how many hops. We had to hop 4 times. How are you going to solve the problem? Use a number bond. But I don't remember what a number bond is. Well, let's begin by reading the story problem. Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12 letters. How many more letters did Jonathan write than Jesus? A number bond has a part, which would be 8, another part, which we don't know, and a whole. How can we figure that out? Well, we could count backwards until we got to 8, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. The answer is 4. And no matter which way the number bond is angled, you're still going to fill it in the same. Now we have to solve the story problem. Gosh, I thought I already solved the problem when I had diagrams, pictures, number bonds, a number line. Nope, we haven't solved the problem. We have 3 more steps. We have our story problem. Jesus wrote 8 letters. Jonathan wrote 12. How many more letters did Jonathan write? We have to write an equation. We have to show our work and circle our answer. 12 plus question mark equals 8. What is the question mark? The question mark is 4. Circle your answer. What does that mean? Remember our pictures, our diagram. What about number bonds and our number line? We are going to check now. How do I do that? To check your answer, you have to explain and justify your thinking. Is your answer reasonable? Use a complete sentence. Let's check our answer. I'm going to check it using the number line method. First, I began on the number 8, on the number line, because that is how many letters Jesus wrote. Next, I hopped until 12, the number of letters Jonathan wrote. Finally, I counted the hops and got 4 more letters. Is that reasonable? Yes. Did I use complete sentences? Yes. Okay. Yay! You have just solved a word problem. Awesome job. Today I learned how to use addition and subtraction within 20 to solve word problems involving situations of adding to, taking from, putting together, taking apart, and comparing with unknowns in all positions. We used objects, drawings, and equations with a symbol for the unknown to represent the problem. Homework for today. Julia collected 9 seashells on the beach. Irene collected 11 seashells on the beach. How many more seashells did Irene collect? Your job is to answer this story problem using the UPSC method. You have the template on the back of your number of the day sheet in the plastic page saver, looking similar to the one that just popped up on the screen, except for yours does not have a red UPSC. Please take a picture of the completed story problem and send it to your teacher via email, text, or Dojo. Don't forget to watch recorded reading lessons with Mrs. Estevez, writing lessons with Miss Tapia, and more math lessons with me, Mrs. Price. Mrs. Price signing out.